everybody, and welcome to this special on the Sun transiting in Pisces. I'm Amani. I'm a karmic, holistic, astrological life coach, and I like to go in depth in all that I do, and all of my interpretations, especially when it comes to Venus, Mercury, Sun transits and everything really, are based on Vedic astrology, which is based on where the planets or the luminaries, which are the Sun and the Moon, are any given time in the sky. And all times are in GMT time as well. So yeah, thanks for listening, and yeah. Okay, so this year the Sun transits in Pisces from the 14th of March to 21 p.m. until the 13th of April at 10:52 p.m. when the Sun moves into Aries. So first I'm just going to talk about the positives, negatives and best use, the summary version, and then I'm going to go in depth talking about the financial, spiritual, practical applications, how it affects us as a collective, the karma, how it affects our career and other development, how it affects our relationships. So yeah, so in summary of the positives, when the Sun's in Pisces, it's a perfect time to connect with your inner self, whether it's through meditation, yoga, or simply spending time in nature. The Sun in Pisces encourages self-reflection, self-awareness and spiritual exploration. It can really allow us to tap into our creative side, as Pisces energy is all about imagination, intuition, making it a great time for artists, museums and anyone looking to express themselves creatively. It can also increase our compassion and empathy for ourselves and others, as it gives us a sense of universal love and compassion. It wants us to practice empathy, as I said, with ourselves and others, and engage in altruistic activities, charitable, giving back where you can, for some of you, be it like homeless shelters and stuff like that. For some of you, just be with friends and family or lovers, and just doing things that bring joy to your community, and it kind of dissolves our boundaries, because Pisces energy often blurs the lines between ourselves and others. It promotes unity and oneness, and this can lead to a deeper connection with others and ourselves, and just a deeper sense of belonging, But negatively, with all Pisces energy, because Neptune rules Pisces, it can lead to us escaping, whether through substances, drugs, alcohol, excessive daydreaming, or avoiding responsibilities, getting caught up in distractions, wanting to hear the lies, wanting to ignore those red flags because you just don't want to face reality right now. So it's important that we stay grounded at this time and do our best to stay grounded in healthy ways, genuine self-care. We can just feel confused in that direction as well, because Pisces' intuitive and emotional nature can sometimes just make it harder for us to make decisions, or just feel clear about the future, and this can lead to indecision or a sense of being lost, and we can just be more sensitive, because Pisces is a highly sensitive energy. With the Sun here, emotions can just be that little bit more intense, and this can lead to us feeling emotionally overloaded and overwhelmed by our feelings, and the feelings of others right now. And as I said, we just may want to fall into that illusion and deception, and we want to see things as they are not, and this can lead to misunderstandings or being misled. So we must check facts. If we, don't understand anything, don't be afraid to ask the other person to clarify, and don't be offended if someone asks you to clarify what you mean by what you said or done. So the best use of this energy is to engage in spiritual practices like yoga, tai chi, meditation, pilates, breath work, EFT, Reiki, anything else that allows you to connect with your inner self. The sun in Pisces also, allows it for us to look into activities like painting, writing, or music, to express the inspiration that's flowing through us, practice empathy and compassion, reach out to others, volunteer, or simply be there for friends and family. And it just wants us to stay grounded in activities like walking in nature, exercise, or spending time with loved ones or with yourself, listening to music, dancing, gaming, anything that helps you relax, to balance the dreamy Pisces energy, but not too relax where you float off into daydreamland, but relax enough that you don't feel overwhelmed by your emotions. So Pisces energy is really great for connecting with yourself and others, spiritual growth, being open to positive energies, and if you do that while being mindful of the challenges, you can feel more connected and inspired underneath this energy, allowing yourself to trust the flow and letting the transit Pisces sun guide you on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual awakening. So, it's all about balance, so stay grounded while you reach for the stars, So that's the summary version of what to do when the sun's in Pisces. Now I'm going to go in depth. So, in terms of the positive, practical applications, it can improve our creativity, as I said. Our imaginations can be on fire, so it's a perfect time to start that art or creative project or any other project you've been putting off or dreaming about, write that song or poem that's been floating in your head, redecorate your space with like a whimsical, nostalgic, sentimental touch, maybe some scents, some potpourri, incense and all of that, yeah. Our empathy can be overloaded. We can be like human mood rings right now. So this allows us to connect deeply with friends and family, volunteer for causes that tugs at our heartstrings, heal old wounds in relationships. Our intuition can be on fleek. Our sixth sense can work overtime, It wants us to trust our gut feelings, our intuition. Allows us to make those decisions that align with our souls and higher purpose, and manage tricky social situations like a professional, and just pick up on vibes that others may miss right now. So just imagine you're at a crossroads in your career. The Piscean energy may inspire you to trust your intuition and take that leap into a more fulfilling creative field or any other profession, that you've always dreamed about. And it's like the universe is giving us an astrological push to follow our hearts right now, but negatively we need to have a reality check at times with all this streamy energy. We may get lost in daydreams instead of tackling our to-do list, struggle with setting boundaries and saying no when needed, lose track of time and miss important deadlines. Our emotions and feelings can be intense, and this can lead to us having mood swings that leave you and others confused, getting overwhelmed by other people's problems, escapism through unhealthy habits, like too much Netflix and chilling and all of that. We can just feel confused as well, as I said, because the lines between fantasy and reality can blur right now, as I said earlier. So this can lead to us having difficulty in making practical decisions. We may not make decisions that are for the best of our overall well-being right now. There can be misunderstandings in communication, and we can just see situations through rose-coloured glasses, ignoring the truth of the situation, So picture this: you're trying to stick to a budget, but the dreamy Pisces energies convince you that you need that overpriced crystal infused water bottle. So it's important to keep one foot in the ground, even as you're swimming in astrological waters of the Neptunian seas. It's all about balance. We must go with the flow, but we must also stay aware of our surroundings and our, priorities and our responsibilities. Tap into creativity and intuition and the feelings, but don't forget to keep it real. So, yeah. So, in terms of financial meanings, the transit Sun in Pisces is a perfect energy for brainstorming, innovative business ideas, especially in creative or spiritual professions. Let your imagination run wild and see where it takes you, at this time. Can just be more generous and more open to helping others financially and developing a sense of community and support. It's a great time to give back or collaborate on projects that benefit everyone. We can invest in intangibles, so we can, really be up for investing in our personal growth, our education or spiritual development. And remember, these investments might not pay off immediately, but they can lead to long-term happiness, and I can vouch for that. In terms of the negative financial meanings, it can lead to impulsive spending, so we just have to be cautious when making impulsive purchases driven by our emotions. Take a time to think before you buy and stick to your budget. We can just lack structure right now as well. Things can get messy without a clear financial plan, so take some time to organise your finances and set realistic goals. We can avoid our financial reality right now, so don't shy away from dealing with money matters. Face your challenges head on and remember that seeking help is okay. And when we're giving to people as well, being charitable, just make sure that they really need it and you're helping in healthy ways and not toxic ways, like you're not funding their toxic habits and stuff like that. In terms of the political meanings of transit Sun in Pisces, political leaders might focus more on social welfare, healthcare and environmental issues. It's a time when empathy drives political decisions, leading to more inclusive policies. We can just have more diplomacy and peace. So it can just make us more cool-headed in our approach to international relations. Leaders can promote peace and cooperation, so it's a great energy for negotiations and building bridges between nations. It also can inspire change, grassroots movements inspired by spiritual or artistic vision can lead to positive change. It's a time when collective action can make a real difference. Negatively though, political decisions might lack a clear direction right now, leading to indecision and inefficiency. So stay informed and engage in discussions to bring clarity to the table and understand others may have different views, and try not to lose your temper and diffuse any aggressive situation. We may prioritize idealism over practicality. It's a great time to have big ideas. Make sure that you're grounded in reality. Balance idealism with practical steps to achieve tangible results you can see and touch. There can also be corruption and deception right now, so the dreamy energy of Pisces can sometimes mask underlying corruption, so stay vigilant and demand transparency from your leaders or transparency in any conversations or authority discussions you may have. In terms of the materialistic social collective meanings, there can be a stronger sense of community, people coming together to support each other and address collective challenges. It's a time to build connections and strengthen social bonds, tying links. Our culture and artistic inclinations can flourish, can grow. People can be more interested in creativity and innovation right now, and this this can bring people together socially. We can attend more concerts, exhibitions, and have more local trips, like events, and just really tap into this vibrant energy, you know. We can just be more spiritually and environmentally aware right now. There can be an increased focus on spirituality and environmental issues, and this can lead to more sustainable and conscious living for some of you, you know. It's a great time to rethink your eco-friendly habits or start them and explore your spiritual side. But negatively, we can experience social isolation. The introspective, self-reflective nature of Pisces can lead to feelings of isolation, you know, but this period allows us to have that solitude that we may need, that time out to get grounded and get in tune with our emotions, you know. But we have to make an effort to stay connected with the friends and family we want to. Don't hesitate to reach out to people if you're feeling alone, or if you ain't got friends and family, reaching out to organisations like the Samaritans and stuff like that. We can really fall into material escapism, so we have to avoid using shopping or consumerism, buying things, buying products and service as a way to cope with emotions or intoxicating substances, you know. Instead, channel this energy into meaningful activities that bring you joy and happiness and that are good for your overall well-being. There can be a sort of collective confusion as well. There can be a lack of clear direction, and this can lead to societal uncertainty. So stay informed, engaged in meaningful conversations, and contribute to creating clarity, you know, understanding in your conversations and relationships, and in your own inner thoughts as well. In terms of the psychological meanings, positively, our empathy can be on fire. Our creativity flows like a river, and our intuition is sharper. But negatively, our boundaries can be blurred. Our decision making may feel like trying to catch a cloud, and it can be impossible right now because we can just find it hard to concentrate and focus, you know. And we can just need a reality check, as I said, as we can find it hard to stay grounded, and our boundaries can get blurred, and this can leave us to feeling overwhelmed by others' emotions, you know. So think of it like this: our mind can be like a sponge right now, soaking up everything around us, and it's a great time and energy to use to understand others. But don't forget to wring yourself out, chill yourself out now and again, you know. Yes, soaking up information. Your mind is fertile psychologically, so it's good for inner and shadow work as well. But make sure you take time out to game, sing, dance, scream, I don't know, jump on the trampoline or anything else, you know, that gets you to chill out from all the psychological and emotional sort of like thinking you can do right now. In terms of spiritual awakening, our connection to the universe feels stronger than ever. It's like we've got astrological Wi-Fi. Meditation and spiritual practices can hit differently now, so expect some major aha moments, and we can just feel more open to exploring different belief systems and finding common ground with others with different beliefs than us. So this is really good, you know. But negatively, we can feel so connected to everything that we lose our sense of self. There's a risk of spiritual bypassing, you know, using spirituality, tarot, meditation and all of that to avoid real life issues. In terms of the esoteric meanings, our psychic abilities can really level up our gut feelings and stuff. We may start picking up on things we never noticed before. The veil between the worlds, the spiritual and the material worlds, you know, the logical and the intuitive, feels thinner right now, making connecting with your guides, your loved ones or your higher self more easier. So yeah, you may be more in tune with the collective unconsciousness, helping you to tap into your higher self's wisdom and universal wisdom guidance more easier. But negatively, we can feel overwhelmed by psychic information. It's like trying to drink from a fire hose, you know. There's a risk of getting lost in fantasy worlds or alternative realities. We could become overly sensitive to energies, making it hard to function in the real world in terms of the symbolic and creative meanings. Our imagination can be off the charts. It's a perfect time for creative projects. We can easily express complex emotions through art, music and writing. Symbols and metaphors can speak to us more easily right now, and this can improve our creativity right now, but negatively we can struggle to translate our vivid inner world into something others can understand right now. There's a risk of getting lost in creations and neglecting practical matters. Our emotions might overwhelm our creative process, and this can lead to unfinished projects. Think of yourself as a living, breathing work of art during this time. Your challenge is to make that inner beauty visible to the world in terms of how it affects our emotions. As I said, we can feel all the feels. Our emotional depth can lead to next level connections. It's a good energy to repair or deepen our relationships, because our compassion and understanding can flow more freely, and this can make it easier for us to forgive and heal, and we can just be more in touch with our inner child. So good for inner child work, as it brings a sense of wonder to everyday life, but negatively, again, those boundaries can just be loose. We may absorb others' emotions like a sponge, and this can lead to emotional overwhelming, and it can be like being caught in a tidal wave of feelings, and we can just become overly romantic and idealistic in our relationships, and this can set ourselves up for disappointment. So yeah, now I'm going to talk about the aspects that are influencing the transiting sun in Pisces this year. So the first one, the sun makes a trine to Mars and it's separating. So this allows us to have more motivation and confidence to take action on our desires and goals right now, and to go after our passions with enthusiasm. But because it's separating, it's not as strong as when it's applying. So we may feel a drop in motivation or slow down in progress, but we just have to keep pushing forward and stay consistent, which is the key to all success. Consistency, small daily steps to your goal. Now, the sun also makes a conjunction to Saturn. This is separating as well, so this allows us to be grounded, because the sun in Pisces can make us be floaty, and this it happens when Venus is in Pisces, Chiron's there too, the North Node's there, and Venus retrograde in Pisces there, Mercury's in Pisces and it retrogrades in Pisces. So the sun's conjunction to Saturn allows us to think long term and stay disciplined. And negatively though, we can just feel heavy, because this can make us feel restricted, and this can lead to self-doubt and having low self-esteem, and we have to remember that hard work will pay off in the long run. So we just have to do all we can to keep our head up and stay focused. And it's not all about hard work. We mustn't burn out, we must chill out as well, and this is what the sun in Pisces is allowing us to do, to be more light-hearted but determined about our goals. The sun also makes a sextile to Uranus. This is also separating. So this just allows us to let our creativity shine and be open to exciting opportunities and fresh ideas. And, just remind us to keep nurturing our ideas and to stay open to inspiration. The sun's conjunction to Neptune, and Neptune rules Pisces, right? So this again is a spiritual powerhouse. This is really good. It allows us to look deep into our spiritual practices and trust our inner voice, and it can sometimes, allow us to stay focused on our goals as well, but negatively can add to us wanting to escape and feeling confused as well. But it's really good for us to improve our intuition and creative expression as well, and for our artistic plans and meditation. Also, the sun makes a conjunction to the North Node. This is applying. So this allows us to focus on our future growth and destiny, and helps us to stay on the right path, and it supports us with our spiritual and personal development as well. We just have to remember to stay humble and open to learning, and remember that growth comes from being open and vibing with new experiences and letting go of the past, right? The sun makes an opposition to the South Node. So again, this supports us in letting go of old patterns and karma, and it's a chance to let go of what's holding us back, and to vibe with a fresh start, which is really good. But negatively, we can revert to old habits, stay in our comfort zone. So we just have to remember to stay strong and focus on our goals, and remember the past is a lesson, not a destination. We shouldn't keep on reliving it. So at the time of the sun going into Pisces this year, there's also 2 stelliums involving the sun in Pisces, Saturn in Aquarius and Neptune, and the moon's north node in Pisces at 17 degrees orb. And then we got Venus retrograde in Pisces, Mercury in the midheaven in Pisces at a 21% orb. So this allows us to upgrade our emotional awareness, the first stellium between the sun in Pisces, Saturn in Aquarius and the moon's north node and Neptune in Pisces, and connect with our inner world, and supports us with being more compassionate and empathetic, and focus on our higher purpose and destiny, and also allows us to bring our creative projects to life, whether it's a new project or restarting an old one with more renewed passion. And it just allows us to be more empathetic and artistic in our approach to our career and educational development, and we may think about aligning our professional life with our true values. But negatively, it can add to the emotional turbulence, it can add to the communication challenges as well, because communication can be vague and we have to be mindful of how we express our thoughts and feelings right now. We may think about our past, meet some exes, because Venus is in retrograde, right? So this can add to discomfort or confusion, and remember, the past is often the past for a reason. If people have changed, you've changed, and it works, then go with it. But if you get back with someone it's just the same as the past, then why relive the past, right? The midheaven in Pisces can make us feel uncertain about our career path, but this can be a good thing. Although it can make it hard to decide in the clear direction, it gets us thinking about, which direction we should take. So yeah, it just supports us with journaling and meditation and completing projects, especially those that have emotional significance. It allows us to consider roles that allow us to express our creativity and empathy in our career. So this is really good for those who are thinking about a career change, right? And it can just help us connect to our path and purpose. So both these stelliums, add to the challenges, of communication difficulties and emotional turbulence, but they offer a deep connection for spiritual growth and creative expression. And by embracing these energies and vibing with these energies with intuition and balance, we can make progress on our goals right now. And this is what life is all about, forward ever, backwards never, which is also a great song by Joseph Miller. So yeah, anyway, now I'm going to talk about the karmic meanings and lessons of the sun transit in Pisces. So the karmic lessons, it wants us to learn about compassion and forgiveness towards ourselves and others. It's time to release grudges and unforgiveness and build more on your self-love, understanding, forgiveness, acceptance and care and management, and understand that everyone has their own struggles, and although people may have hurt you in the past, understand, as I said, we've all got stuff going on, and this is not to bypass what they've done or limit invalidate your feelings, but it's to let you be aware of that often the only thing we can know, the only thing that we can control in our life is our mind, so we have to let go of attachments that no longer serve us, whether it's a toxic relationship or unhealthy behaviours, thought habits, and it gives us a lesson in surrender and trust in the universal plan, and it allows us to connect with a higher power wanting us to tap into universal love, as I said, and understanding that we're all part of a larger whole. And this can just make us bring a sense of oneness in ourselves and unity, and help us to reconcile our strengths and weaknesses as well. In terms of past life memories and dreams, it can lead to healing experiences. We may recall lives and memories of being a healer or having a role in spiritual guidance. These memories can surface as a way to remind you of your innate ability to help and heal others and yourself. We may have dreams or past memories of emotional wounds that come up, and this is pushing us to confront and heal these hurts. It's an opportunity to release karma and move forward. And we may just experience vivid dreams or visions of the spiritual realms or past life connections, and these are guiding us towards a deeper spiritual understanding and healing. And in terms of the collective karma, there can be more of a focus on mental health and emotional well-being. This is a collective call to heal and support one another on a deeper level, and it just reminds us of the need for global compassion and understanding may come more apparent, and this can push us to come together and address shared challenges like all the division we've got going on in the world with more empathy. And it collectively just allows us to confront and work with our fears and illusions that prevent us from true connection with ourselves and others, and this is offering us to confront and dissolve any toxic ways of relating to ourselves and others. And this can lead to a more united and compassionate world if we all take time out to understand, love, forgive ourselves and manage ourselves and accept ourselves and become more self-aware. So it wants us to reflect and forgive, and this will help you release karma and move forward with a lighter heart by practicing forgiveness. Seek spiritual guidance, connect with a higher power and seek guidance through meditation, prayer or any other techniques, and offer compassionate support to those around you if you can in healthy ways. And this can contribute to collective healing and reducing karma. So now I'm just going to talk about the effect of the transit Sun in Pisces on our relationships. So in terms of our family relationships, it allows us to be more compassionate and understanding. We may find ourselves more willing to forgive past hurts that our family members cause, or people in our family and friendship groups may let go of grudges that they have against us. But it can also bring unresolved emotions and make family interactions a little foggy. So positively, it can help us deepen our bonds and have more empathy, right? And it can just create a stronger sense of unity and shared purpose. It can make us more creative and imaginative in our family activities and hobbies and traditions, but misunderstandings due to oversensitivity or unspoken feelings can make things a bit tense, and there can just be a tendency to avoid confrontation or sweep things under the rug, and family secrets or past wounds can resurface, and it can be hard, but this energy just wants us to try and heal them. And it's best to use this time to have an open, honest, heartfelt conversations and create meaningful rituals together. In terms of our friendships, we can be more nurturing and supportive. We can connect with friends on a deeper, more spiritual level, but again, blurry boundaries can make it hard for us to stay grounded in our friendships. But we can just be more empathetic and understanding. It can strengthen our spiritual bonds because we do spiritual or creative hobbies together, and we may meet new friends who resonate with our soul, but we may over-sacrifice our needs to help others, and we must make sure that we take care of ourselves first, right? We can read too much into things, and there can just be a tendency to escape into fantasies or avoid reality with friends. So it's important to balance emotional support with clear communication and make sure you're not losing yourself in the process of helping others, right? In terms of committed couples, our romantic relationships can become more intimate and soulful, and it's a great time to reconnect on a deeper level, but it also requires emotional honesty and trust. It increases our intimacy and vulnerability. Our spiritual and creative practices can deepen, and we can just find it easier to forgive and understand each other, right? But negatively, we can avoid having difficult conversations or sweeping issues under the rug. We can be oversensitive or take things too personally, and we can just have a tendency to idealise the relationship or partner. So we have to get real, have meaningful conversations, and explore new ways to connect emotionally and spiritually, and be honest with each other, right? In terms of our hookup relationships, things can just become more intense and passionate, you know, and we can find it easy to get caught up in the fantasy of the moment rather than the reality of it. You know, sparks can fly and chemistry can feel magnetic, and intimacy can make us feel more emotionally connected, and a sense of adventure can bring more spontaneity into hookup relationships. But the blurred boundaries and mixed signals can cause tension. We can over romanticize the situation as respecting too much just because our hookup partners are being nice. We can think that they may be falling in love with us and want commitment, and there can be a lack of clarity about where things are heading. So we have to be honest in our communication about what you want, and be open to the other person wanting something different from you, and just try and enjoy the moment. For those who are single and self-partnered, we can be more drawn to spiritual practices, creativity and self-reflection. We can deepen our self-awareness and emotional healing. We can have a stronger connection to our intuition and inner world, and our creativity and inspiration can flow more freely. But negatively, we can feel isolated or overly sensitive. We can have a tendency to escape into daydreams or avoid reality, and overthinking or analysing past relationships can just make us feel kind of overwhelmed. So we should focus on self-love and personal growth, journal, meditate and explore our creative sides. So, you know, in all our relationships we have to embrace empathy, intuition and vulnerability, and allow ourselves to find that balance between being open to others but not forgetting ourselves. So in terms of our career development, it can just make us more creative and guided by intuition, and, you know, explore things that bring us joy and happiness. But we can escape into fantasies about our career, so we have to stay grounded and take practical steps towards our goal. In terms of personal development, we can experience healing and growth. It's great to build resilience, to manage life challenges, and this is what it's all about, because life will always life. Practice on self-care and self-reflection and emotional, psychological and spiritual healing will benefit you in the long run, help you, handle people and the world more better. But negatively, we can struggle with setting boundaries and feel overwhelmed by our emotions. So we just have to practice mindfulness to stay balanced. With our spiritual development, we can deepen our faith and explore mystical experiences and be more open to them. But negatively, we can neglect the spiritual areas of our life, and this can make us feel disconnected. So we have to make time for meditation or other spiritual activities that vibe with us, that resonate with us, that make us feel better, In terms of educational development, it's great for exploring creative or intuitive areas of study. It's a time to learn through our experiences and connect with others. We may feel the urge to procrastinate negatively, or we may lose focus, so we have to remember to stay disciplined and keep our goals in sight. For those who are single and self-partnered, it's great to nurture a deep connection with yourself, finding joy in solitude. But negatively, you may feel lonely or disconnected from others, so focus on building or continuing building a strong relationship with yourself. So I'm just going to finish up with the best things to do when the sun's transiting in Pisces. So creatives, unleash the inner artist, whether it's painting, drawing or digital art, let your imagination run wild and create something that speaks to your soul. Music and dance, expressing yourself through rhythm can allow your body to tell a story and help you connect with your body. Journaling and creative writing can be a powerful tool for you to understand your psychological and emotional and spiritual wounds and baggage. And writing poetry, short stories or journaling about your feelings can be really good. Professionals can use this to meditate and reflect on your career goals and let your intuition guide your decisions and find innovative solutions to challenges. Think outside of the box and trust your instincts. Connect with others, network, build relationships and work with others on projects that align with your values. Entrepreneurs, brainstorm, gather your team or gather yourself for creative brainstorming sessions. Pisces energy inspire new ideas and innovations for you. Focus on social media and marketing. Use your creativity to create engaging content for your brand. Connect with your audience on a deeper level. Incorporate mindfulness and intuition into your business decisions and trust your instincts and make choices that feel right. Alternative healers, work with energy work like Reiki, chakra balancing, Tai Chi, yoga and any other energy healing techniques to deepen your practice. Use visualization to connect with your clients on a deeper level yourself. Trust your intuition and let it guide your sessions. Host workshops or attend them, and share your knowledge with others on their healing journey. Lovers, plan romantic dates that involve creativity and connection. Think candlelight dinners, sunset walks, picnics or a couple's art or cooking class. Have deep, meaningful conversations with your partner. Trust your intuition and let it guide your interactions in your relationship. And engage in activities you both enjoy, like watching a movie, playing music or practicing yoga or anything else together. It's time to nurture your relationship and strengthen your connection. For those who are single and self-partnered, be open to vibing with self-love. Treat yourself to a spa day or take a relaxing bath or create a spa at home. Practice self-care rituals that make you feel good. Journal and reflect on what you want in a relationship and what you're grateful for in your life. Engage in activities that bring you joy, and happiness. It's time to connect with yourself and find the joy in solitude. So, in conclusion, the sun in Pisces is a powerful time for emotional and spiritual and creative growth. It invites you to work with your intuition and connect deeply with others and explore our artistic and creative side. It gives us opportunity for healing, intimacy with ourselves and others and a sense of unity and belonging. But we may find it hard to stay grounded and communicate clearly. So we just have to be empathetic with ourselves and others as we navigate relationships. At this time, have more compassion and vulnerability, and we have to balance our spiritual plans with practical steps to stay connected to reality. And it just reminds us to trust our inner voice, our higher selves, our true self, and connect and align with our authentic self, and to work with the flow of life and stay open to change and growth, and just let the magic of Pisces guide you towards a more authentic and inspired version of yourself. So yeah, that's the end of this in-depth analysis on what to do when the sun's in Pisces. I'm Amani, your holistic karmic astrological life coach. Take care and see you next time.